Oh dear. Huh. That sounds like the ventilator's a bit off. Shame. It sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air. Terribly sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh. We're back again. Hello there. You must be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest. At least I hope you are. Well, the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed. As you know, I'm Uncle Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right. You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Sometimes the writers get a little mischievous. You can only feed me news after I finish reading the previous story. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful? You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one. You wouldn't want me to get muddled, would you? No, of course not. Just press the send button below the news. Oh, splendid. I'm sure you'll do a smashing job producing my show today. Just remember that we only want to see good news. Fortunately, all the news at Wellington Wells is good. Here we go. On in 5, 4, 3...
And now it's time for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack. That's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the good news you need to start your afternoon with a smile. Have you seen any dead bodies on the... Oh, dear. No, of course I haven't seen any dead bodies on the street. How ridiculous. Although, I did, you know what, I did see one the other day. And then he got up and walked away. Yes, it was an actor rehearsing for a show. The Hamlin Thespian Troupe is rehearsing a lively new murder mystery to be performed al fresco on the streets of Wellington Wells. According to the director, Christy Baskerville, the innocent butler is a rip-roaring whodunit sure to delight audiences. I don't mean to spoil the suspense, but it has a happy ending. It turns out that nobody was dead at all. Yes, news story. Ah, yes. This is the stuff. The Department of Science and Research is mounting a free exhibition that examines what Wellington Wells will be like 20 years in the future, called The House of the Future. The scientists have dreamt up some wonderful inventions, and apparently there will be cakes and rides. Why? 1984, eh? Gosh, it's hard to imagine that 1984 will be anything like the Wellington Wells of today. It will be even better. And I do hope I'll still be on your tellies every day. Constable Winslow has solved the mystery of the large pig spotted behind the King's Arms pub last Friday night. Well, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to get any bacon this time. It turns out it was only Jim Dixon attempting to find his keys in the alley. At least, that's what Jim said he was doing. And we're all quite sure that he wasn't drunk at all, was he? No. Remember, joy can make you look at things a little hopefully. So, if you're not sure, there's no harm in asking a friend if he's seeing the same thing you are. Next card. Tick-tock. Did you hear a loud explosion last week? Do you remember how the... Sinkhole? Scargill? Oh, dear. Well, It seems that some citizens in the vicinity of the Scargill Mines facility heard what seemed at first to be a loud explosion. Perhaps my producer was mining supervisor for that day. That seems to be par for the course, doesn't it? Just kidding. There's no need to worry, everyone. It seems that those jolly miners were just testing their fireworks for the annual Victory Day celebrations and set off fireworks and sparklers and all sorts of things. What a lot of scamps those chaps are. The company naturally apologizes sincerely for any alarm the noise may have caused. But I, for one, can't wait to see the fireworks. And speaking of fiery things, I'm feeling a bit warm today. You might say I'm hot under the collar. You know, sometimes you can be on so much joy that you don't even notice that you're reading bad news because everything is so rosy. Maybe that's what happened to my producer for the day. One of the lovely things about joy is that it helps you tolerate people who are a bit thick at first. Because eventually they get it, don't they? And what a relief when they do. So, back to the news. Mrs. Helen Dainty offers a reward to anyone returning her beloved cat Sebastian, who went missing at the village picnic. Sebastian can be recognized by his adorable pointy face, pink eyes, long hairless tail, yellow teeth, and jaunty pink bow. He sounds like an adorable kitty, doesn't he? If you see Sebastian, please catch him and return him to Miss Dainty at Thomasina House. Don't eat him. No, that would be rude. Well, I suppose the lights went out because my producer needs to get some more sleep. But I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time, yes. Thanks to our producer for the day, and I hope they're better at their regular job. Wouldn't be hard, would it? No, almost kidding.
Well, wasn't that exciting? I do wish you could be here, dear viewers. Well, it looks like somebody's having a party in the visitors' gallery. There are so many happy, excited people there. So many. Perhaps somebody ought to check in and, make sure that they're not breaking anything. People tend to get carried away sometimes, don't they? Do you know what makes a party even better? Why, joy, of course. Yes, I bet we'd all have an even better time if somebody would just flood the visitors' gallery with joy, right? You can never be too careful. Any time now. Yes, just fire up the old ventilation system and spread the joy all around. Just like old Scrooge at Christmas. Yeah. And wouldn't we all love a nice Christmas turkey about now? You know, almost anything to be a Christmas turkey with enough joy. Seriously, if somebody would just do whatever it is that you do to turn on the joy in the ventilators. What's nice to hear that lovely joy gas through the ventilator.
Under your smile,
No one really wants that images silent.
don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run. 'Cause when we were young,
Right, everybody take a nice
we just a child and we start to all we do is smile. Let's try a stranger on for a while. Something could change for a brand new start. Hide all the raindrops under your tongue. They're only tears. There's nothing to fear.
welcome to today's edition of Humour Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Prentice Gibson of Clapperton Down. Mr. Gibson says, what do you call three downers at the bottom of the sea? Not enough downers. Very good. We're starting off very strong today, aren't we? This one is from Brian E. Ditton of Collier's Lane. What's the difference between a downer and a trampoline? You take off your shoes before you jump on a trampoline. How true! How very true! I mean, you don't want to damage a perfectly good trampoline, do you? Very good indeed. This is from Mrs. Jemima Hughes of Coronation Avenue. And her joke is, if you see a drowning downer, what do you throw him? I don't know, a brick? An anvil? Well, no, you can't very well throw an anvil, can you? What about a grenade? No. Who has grenades these days? Answer, another downer! I told you it was good. That's wonderful. It's very good. You see, they both drowned. That is another one. How do you save a drowning downer? Answer, who cares? Very good. Lovely jokes. Lovely jokes today. Very funny indeed. And here's one from, not that one, no, this one here. It's from Clive Pritchard of Sladebrook Road. Mr. Pritchard, what do you have for us today? Question. How is a puppy like a mortally wounded downer? Answer. Eventually they'll both stop whining. Oh, Mr. Pritchard, you're quite the character, aren't you? Oh. You know, I miss my dog. What am I saying? I don't miss anything at all. I've got it all right here. Let's see what else we've got. Yes, we have something from our dear friend and faithful contributor, Mr. Persky Blackyoung. Yes, as you can tell from his name, Mr. Blackyoung isn't actually a real Englishman. He's an Afrikaner from South Africa, but he's doing his patriotic best to fit in. So, what do you have for us today, Mr. Blackyoung? Question. How is a downer like an apple? Answer. They both look good hanging from a tree. I'm not sure I get it. Oh, I see. Yes, very good. Hanging from a tree. And here's another one. What's the difference between a downer and a black plague? Well, one is a deadly organism that can destroy an entire city, and the other is a bacterium. Oh, very good. Well, I think it's going to be hard to top that one, but we must slog on, eh? It's one of our greatest English virtues. I have one here from Mr. Thomas Henchley of Longbottom Circle. What have you got for us, Mr. Henchley? Question. Why do we bury downers 20 feet underground? Answer. Because deep down, they're really nice people. Deep down, yeah. I think that's the best one of all. It really is. Very good. Remember, no one has to be a downer, but if you feel a bit down, take your joy. And if you see someone who seems a bit down, make sure he takes his joy. It's as simple as that. Happiness is a choice, and those who won't choose it are a threat to the rest of us. If you hear a good joke, please don't hesitate to drop a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House in central Wellington Wells. Yes, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for the best in humour. See you soon.
Truth is the enemy of happiness. Isn't that the decision we all made?
Oh. But you know the truth, don't you? There's not a thing I can tell you that you don't already know. Is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death. And they're painting the streets in fucking rainbows. Have you not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile. And when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No! It's better not to know.
Wakey, wakey, everybody. And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. Do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
Sally?
Arthur, we're practically the only two people in this entire city not stoned out of our minds on joy.
It's not a lovely day for it. It's a fucking terrible day for it.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you've turned them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry?
You've gone too far this time.
People won't face facts. Not until we take their joy. And when we do that, they'll murder each other in the street.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The sun is up, and the weather is overcast and only slightly rainy, with occasional patches of lovely sunshine. Wakey, wakey, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear friends. Good morning to you. Well, I hope you all had a lovely night's sleep with lovely dreams. It's shaking. And now it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And my first letter is from Mrs. Emily Cluley of Falkland Road. Dear Uncle Jack, I adore your show and thank you.
Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. It's your dear friend, Uncle Jack, with a few brief tips that'll help you get along. The most important one, of course, is don't forget to take your joy. Drink plenty of water, too. Good thing there's joy in the water, eh? And eat plenty of nutritious food. May I be the first to recommend our local delicacy, V-meat. Of course, be very careful to stay away from downers.
I just want them to stop screaming.
Fortunately, most of these sad lunatics live in the Garden District, and no decent person goes there. It's full of dangerous maniacs who won't take their joy.
Good night!